Taurus. Happy November. I hope you're doing well. Okay. All right, guys. Your reading, I think you've got some stuff going on here. Okay. So a few freaky things happened out um, while I was getting ready for your reading. Um, First of all, I've got messages for you. Second of all, I feel like someone is like ripping out my right arm. So if someone's got you by the wrist, you may want to look at that, okay, um, for some of you. Now, I keep hearing, and I heard it in my meditation too, resurrected, thy will be done, okay? I don't think this is in reference to if this is, I think you're living, the other thing is too, I have all my decks out that I'm going to use for today, for all of the throws that I planned on anyway, right? The one deck that I never use, I think I used it one time for my readings. It's something I use for myself. It's the Mona Lisa deck. Because I know it's more for, it is a tarot deck, but it's more for inner reflections and divining like that. But I had to get up and use it because it's exactly what you're doing here. I think you've got like 10% of an actual smile for the outside world, right? Like you can make it sound like it's really great, but you're screaming on the inside in the opposite direction. So your life is I feel like it kind of revolves around like a on-off switch. And you're not able to, or choosing not to, living between these polarities and not accepting things about yourself or wanting the outside world to see them. I mean, I get it, but it's not going to serve you well here because I think that your actual, and I'm going to coin it as this too, you have, it's like you've got hope angels and dread demons, and you live between the two. And it's like you think you're under some karmic deadlock here. And, you know, I can't say whether that's true or not in a general reading, but you're under something that I think that it's you doing this to yourself. And I know it comes from somewhere. That's where the karma would come in. But whether it's residue from someone else or something that you're continually doing on your own or sucking in from someone else, but I have a feeling your life has always been like this, right? So I'm going to have to take it at that. Now, your messages coming in were the only way forward is to stop. You are really verbatim. You can't get there from here. Okay. Mainly, you can't do it alone. So I don't have, the other thing is in your cards, you've got 7 coins. I'm sorry. You've got 6 coins, 4 wands, 1 cup, and it's the 8 of cups. And you've got no swords in here. None at all. When we don't have swords, we're not thinking clearly. So, all right. New perception of wealth and abundance too. Also, if you're in a relationship, this may be all combined, or it may be, you know, it may be for different facets here, but there's something too about, and I'm telling you, I feel like someone really grabbed my right wrist, and not in a hi, how are you doing? So if you're in a situation where there's like physical abuse, it's got to be pretty significant for me to be picking it up, okay? If you, there's also something about if you keep trying to control the outcomes to things with your partner, you're pushing, they're going to go, they're leaving, right? If this keeps going on, this could be vice versa too, because I'm doing this reading for you, so you're either doing that to someone or someone is doing that to you. Okay, take a look at your motives too. Why are you doing what you're doing? Are your motives uh, getting you where you need to go, or are you doing this? Are you doing whatever your motives, whatever's driving you? Are you doing something so that someone else doesn't have what you have, or are you doing it to take something away from someone else? There's some really struggling behaviors in here. I'm going to leave it there. You're clearly struggling with something here. I don't know if it's your sexuality. I don't know if it's uh, a survival technique that you may have picked up to um, survive. To Taurus doesn't like their. It's all about value in that house, but it's also about health in there too, and that's mental health too, right? But you're also, you conjunct the 8th house of Scorpio, so you've got stuff under there, right? I think what's happening here is you've got some stuff under the surface there that you're not wanting the outside world to see. And that's all well and good, but these things they're wreaking havoc with your life because you're not able to live this polarity, right? So I think too, I think you think well, I've got some images, but I'm not, I mean, whatever you're dealing with, you need to get a handle on it because you're not going to be able to get where you're going from here. But you've got divine guidance here, right? And you know, it's, I get it. We live in a world that is highly superficial, to be quite honest, right? And not accepting of things that aren't like everyone else, but you're going to need to find an outlet here because it's holding you up. I think you're living in the past. I think you're living a life really that's not yours, and it's not serving you well. Okay, now we come in with the energy of the 8 of Cups. Okay, I think I drink too much coffee is why this isn't. Okay, you don't like change. I get that. And this is another reason why I wanted to use this deck. I need you to see this, so I'm going to try to. Okay, see all the people screaming? And she's got her 1 cup. And she's out of there. She doesn't like change, she or he. The 8 of Cups is too. It's a card of not wanting to change, right? It's not always a card of, it's just, it's not cut and blank, someone's walking away. It's not. There's always it's a lot more to this because 8 is a stable. You're looking for stability, right? It's a harmony number. It should be anyway. But it's usually you're trying to regain it back after a 7 blew through your house, right? Something like that. So this is someone who really just does not like change. And underneath it, we've got the Death card. Okay? It's one persona for another. See what I mean? Your life is like a light switch. It goes on and you can be one person, and it goes off and you're another person. You're trying to live in 2 different worlds. Okay, now we come in with the 5 of Wands and the 2 of Coins. The 2 of Coins, you're trying to weigh out something. right? And it's just, look at the cards on the right. It's those are your, that's you fighting with you. These are your, you know, who do I want to be today? How do I, that's a tough place to be. It is. It is. And this is, again, it can be about anything that you don't want the outside world to see. But we can't live a facade forever, you know. And I know me telling you that, it doesn't help. I get that, okay? Um, Now, in the past, which is the energy that still washes through here, you've got the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is stability. It's the start of stability, right? It's in your home, in here, right? Because if you look, what this card, what is she hanging on to? Her one cup. Her one cup. Your Holy Grail's inside. I'm not going to preach on religion. That's wherever you are, but our home is inside, and you're trying to hang on to it. Okay. Now, where we're anchored is the Seven of Coins. Okay. It's you've done all you can do here. This may be someone in your sphere that's got some kind of addiction, and they have different personalities. This doesn't need to be you, but it's showing up in your reading, so it must be pretty significant in your life, okay? Now, the Seven of Coins, again, there's a lot of coins in here. So what I'll say with that is this, coins don't, the timing on this doesn't move very fast. It takes longer than if we were to have other elements. And we don't have swords in here. So there's no logical thinking. There's no plan. There's no way to do this. You're just going to keep doing what you've done. You know what I mean? It's like you're not thinking of new ways to get a handle on this. You're just going to do things how you've done them. All right? And I get that too. Now your destiny card, what's crowned here is the Nine of Coins. Right? This can be too how you look at monetary things, where their value is, what you value. Again, one of your messages was, what are the motives behind what you do, and you need a new perspective or new perception of wealth and abundance. This card is a very, the Nine of Cups coins, yes, it is a card of attaining things, but what is it that you are attaining, right? Because a lot of times with this card, it's isolation. It's we've got everything, but we've isolated ourselves, right? Or we're coveting something, you know, about someone else, from someone else, someone else's life, right? And what's coming up for you is the Ace of Wands. What are your desires? You know, if you look, you see the pretty trees in the background, right? And all of his trees are weeping. And if you look at the roots on this tree. They're like claws. They're just grasping at something. They're trying to just grasp onto anything. This is a very, very, you've got to find a new way of doing something. In all honesty, who really cares? Who doesn't like, you know, if this is something where you've got some kind of fixation on your end, who cares? Fly your freak flag. This is your life. You need to live your life, not appease everyone else. If someone else is kind of coming at you with many different personalities, which could be the case too, you may be in some kind of dynamic here where someone is mentally unstable, narcissism, uh, uh, some kind of bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, something like that. If that's the case, you know, that could be too. Um, but either way, I think you're having a hard time keeping up with what face you need to wear and when, right? It's causing major chaos inside of you. Now, how you see the situation here is the Queen of Wands. You're divinely protected. You're divinely protected. You need to call. I believe some of your messages too were to not go this alone. Call in some guidance here. This is a very divinely connected card, but it can also be someone who is very manipulative. Absolutely. It can be someone who, it's my way, and that's just it. There's no like this, right? It can be someone like that. So it could be you or it could be someone else in your surroundings, but you're in a tough spot, you know? Now, in your environment, you've got, I'm sorry, he's, what are you hanging on to, right? This is the Four of Coins. You've got the Four of Coins and the Four of Wands. Those cards speak of two fours, a journey, a move. I also want to say here with this card I'm just getting that there's something unstable about this. There's something unstable about this person. So I think that this may be the case actually. Okay. Now in your environment, the Four of Coins, what that's really meaning is you're not sure what to do here because I have a feeling that this is a revolving door. I think this is what happens and then I think it goes back around and then I think it happens and then it comes back around. I think at one point things may have been stable-ish, the beginning of stability, but I think it goes back and forth I think it just swings really back and forth. Okay. All right. Now, in your hopes and fears, right? In this position too, it's not just your hopes and fears. It's what you tell yourself and what you tell other people. Yes, I want to do this, right? Like that's what we'll tell people. But on the inside, it's like, no, I really don't want to do this, right? You've got the Sun card here in that spot. You're trying to free yourself is what you're trying to do. The Sun card is a great card. Okay, it's a joy card, it's a happiness card. It's what you're looking for. But it's also pulling on the wisdom of the past to go forward. You've got to balance these two, right? That's why the wall is up in that normal, the Sun card, there's that short wall in the back, and you see one of the kids, I think, going like this to the other one, and the other one's whooshing ahead. This is what you're doing. You're pulling on the past mistakes, and you're going forward. You're not jumping off a cliff blindly, right? There's no swords in here. That's the concern. To pull those two together, there's polarity in here. And it's this. You know, it's the polarities in your life. It's the different every single card in here speaks of a dual face, like you're putting on something to keep your life together. Now on the outbound, we've got the Six of Coins. Again, that's the card of balance, right? Of give and take, of someone helping you perhaps, or you helping someone. The Six of Coins can be a card of charity, but it's also telling you be very aware of the people in your surroundings, right? Is someone taking you for a ride? Or are you taking someone for a ride, maybe? Or things like that. This whole reading for you, my dear Taurus, is about balance and change. And I know I don't feel that this is something that I worry, because this is a feeling behind this is, if you don't know who you are in your first house, right? I think this is something that you put on for work. I think that this is something that I think you see what go in and see where I think this has got ninth house action in it. The houses, not the planets, the houses. I think this has 9th, 10th, 12th in here. 12ths are endings, right? They're endings, beginnings, but they're rebirths, they're regenerations. They're and you've got ninth house, which is philosophies, learning new things, travel. I think this journey, though, is yours. And I think that it's one that you need to take, and you need to, at some point, come to terms with why you do the things that you do, right? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing in any way. I'm just saying something's got you paralyzed here, and you don't want to show the outside world, right? And I think that it's something, I can't tell if it's good, bad, or indifferent. I know some of the visions that I have, and I can't judge you. It's not my place to judge you, but you need to be accepting of yourself, because we don't just have these things. They're serving a purpose for part of your journey. But if someone is physically abusing you, that's different. That shouldn't be. And there's some kind of physical something in here. So maybe if that's part of whatever this is, I don't know what to say about that. But again, it's not my place to judge anyone. I'm just telling you what's coming up for you for November, and it looks like it might be a little challenging. But I think that, it depends. If someone's doing this to you, you need to get a handle on this, because there's no swords in here. You're not thinking stably at all, which could put you in a really vulnerable or dangerous spot. Okay? You got a lot of coins in here, which tell me that this is not something new, and it's not going to end overnight. Okay? Again, give me one moment. I don't know where this is coming from. If this is something, say some kind of addiction, or for a lack of a better way to put it, you're being asked to use this to help someone else, right? Like say what I'm picking up on is in here, because there's no swords, right? So this may be something that you've had to deal with your entire life on something. Say you were, if it was strong enough, if there was abuse in here at some point in your life, in one way or another, and you felt it, I would feel that. I could pick up that energy for sure. So this could be something that's old, that you still on the inside, you're able to function on a day-to-day, but this still really, this would be trauma. right? This would be different than something that happened and you get through it and there's healing. This is trauma. Trauma is completely different, totally different ballgame. But you're being asked to really help people in this situation. So maybe, you know, look at that. That would be your way out. But you're also being asked that you're going the wrong way. You're not going to get where you're going here. The only way forward is to stop. You can't get there from here. And you can't do this alone. I'm going to say this is some kind of addiction that's got a hold of your life. And an addiction, guys, is anything that's got your life out of balance. And you shouldn't be ashamed of it. And you should try to get some help for it, because this is the journey of a lifetime. You only get to do this once. So enjoy it. And I would be a little bit kinder to yourself. Who gives a crap what someone else thinks? Honestly, you know? So that's my 2 cents. That's what I think is happening. I think this is very, very, very hard. This could be something too where there's a phobia in here, right? There's something that's not balanced in here for sure, okay? It could be someone who's mentally unstable, like I say. Without swords, that would make sense. It would make sense, right? So, okay. I wish, guys, I had something greater to give you, but this knowledge is power, right? So I'd be more than happy to look at this with you or work with you on this. So if you need a private reading, just reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to do anything for you. Okay? Okay. Thank you so much. Happy November.